Hey guys, it's Roman Blevins here with MySpace, and we're going to be talking about some more interesting things that you'll find, well, interesting. MySpace, take it away.
With my macaroni and cheese, I'll take it away, Roman. Alright, so folks. So in the news recently, a new metal band, if you want to call them that, I like to call them alternative metal. The band SLIPKNOT had a little incident that happened recently. Their guitarist, Mick Thomson, the one who wears the creepy mask. Well, they're all creepy, but he's the one that got like the Darth Vader mask. Yeah, like the one closest. I would say the one closest to Darth Vader. That reminds me of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
He got into a knife fight with his brother Wednesday. Apparently, it occurred at 4 a.m. in the morning on the front yard in a residency in Clive. I believe that's how you pronounce it, Cleve or Clive, Iowa. Yeah. So
a knife fight.
When the police found the brothers reportedly drunk, showing non-life-threatening stab wounds. So apparently, nothing too serious. The authorities said the guitarist sustained one in the back of his head. Despite the fact, okay, he said it doesn't sound serious, but yet he somehow sustained an injury in the back of his head from a knife fight. That sounds kind of dangerous to me, but
Yeah.
according to the chief of police, neither individual is very cooperative. Our detectives will be following up as soon as their medical situation allows us. I'm hoping that they're okay, and I hope that whatever happened doesn't happen again. That it was just some stupid crap because they were drunk and stuff like that. Corey Taylor, the band's the front man of the band, the singer, said, we're sending him all your thoughts. The singer wrote, "Thank you for that." In terms of tweeting, that's what he tweeted. So he didn't say, my bad, comrades. He didn't say that. He tweeted that.
Comrades.
So a little more information on Slipknot really quickly. The group is set to embark on a North American tour next month, which I'm hoping to go see. That would be awesome. Followed by a European tour, and then back to U.S. for a summer tour.
So they just want to skip the Asian tour now, huh? They don't want to stop by anywhere in Asia or Africa? No?
I guess so.
Anybody?
Actually, you know what? That would be cool. Like, you know,
right?
I mean, that's actually a good point to bring up. Now that I think about it, because actually the answer to Asia is yes, because they've actually done concerts in Japan. They've done concerts in Japan. I don't know if they've done concerts in like South Korea or China. The problem with China is they can be very strict on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because, you know.
Oh yeah, I know.
The Chinese, despite this idea we have about the Chinese being communists and like communists, we think of like as left-leaning people, as a left-leaning political ideology. A good portion of China is still very conservative in culturally. Culturally, it's still kind of conservative in nature, just like Japan and just like South Korea.
Right.
Yeah. So I would find it kind of interesting if China was okay with letting Slipknot perform in China, because I find that very.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, the way things are going there nowadays, I don't see what would be a problem with it. You know. I mean, I wouldn't say that would be far-fetched.
Possibly.
Maybe. So what's gonna happen? This I guess this little quarrel between these two guys, it's probably not gonna turn into anything serious and not, become anything more than it is now.
Probably not. I would like to hope that it doesn't become anything more serious than it is right now.
Yeah, hopefully it'll just, it probably will just die down and no one's gonna really remember that, what's been happening with that.
Right. Or as we remember this in like a little stupid thing that like, oh yeah, we were being stupid that night or something like that, you know?
Yeah, we're being stupid and I just stabbed in the back of the head.
Right, exactly.
I mean, it happens, People do worse things when they're drunk too, like run over people and get in car accidents.
Right. And apparently, according to records, to criminal records. His brother, Mick Thomson's brother, the person who he got into a fight with, in a knife fight with, was once arrested for public intoxication. But Thomson, the guitarist, has had no prior criminal record in Iowa.
Iowa.
So yeah, apparently it might have been more of his brother's doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, going back to my little tour idea but how about Africa too? You don't. There are some bands, in South Africa. There's a lot of people there in South Africa, in that country. They're down in the tip of the continent of Africa. There, they got a lot of cool things going on there. It looks like a really cool place to visit, I guess. Western.
I have a message to South Africans. Here's my message. Start listening to more metal music. Thank you.
Yeah, that's all. That's all the message. There's nothing more to it.
Actually, there is now. I'm going to guide you on your way to becoming a true passionate metalhead.
MySpace. I have a revolutionary idea for you. You need to tell the United Nations you'll be their special metal administrator, or you'll be their special metal ambassador. What if they made you world ambassador of metal music? That is a title and a half right there, my friend.
That would be so sweet.
That would be.
That would be a very that sounds like a very nice paycheck too.
Yeah. So what do? Well, I'm the United Nations metal ambassador. So what exactly do you do? What's your job description? I go around to different countries and I educate people on metal. What do you do? Oh, wait a second. I'm running late for an appointment. I've got to travel to Zimbabwe right now. These people there really have no idea about real metal. I'm going to go there. And you know what? Let's continue this conversation next week when I get back from Tokyo. I got another meeting there with about 50,000 people. But you know what? I think I can fit you in.
Yeah, so, I read, actually, speaking of metal in Africa, I watched a documentary where there was this, small town or village in Africa where, most of the people living there were just really into metal music, and the story goes that, they somehow just got, tons and tons of free CDs of, metal bands from, America and, European countries, and they would form certain gangs, like the Slayer gang and stuff like that.
The Slayer gang.
And they would graffiti of the different metal bands on the walls and stuff like that. I'm looking at that. I'm like, wow, that's pretty awesome.
That's dedication right there. It really is.
Oh man, I wish I can remember that documentary. It's been a while since I saw that documentary.
Is it on Netflix? Did you see it on Netflix? Is that where you saw it?
I saw it. I did not see it on Netflix.
Okay. All right. Talking about some other thing, getting off the subject and going into another one. Something really cool and interesting. NASA. Okay, is they're starting to take real serious talks about the landing site for 2016 on the Mars mission. You heard about this new Mars this mission to Mars? So they found this. They found this. They got this area here, and the pictures here from the I think what are those things called again? The probes. That's right. The probe that is orbiting. Mars. I think they have one of them that takes pictures. Looks just like the moon, really. I read something right here. It says the Mars 1 mission goal is to establish human settlement on Mars. Human settlement of Mars is the next giant leap for mankind. Exploring the solar system as a united humanity will bring us all closer together. Yes. Mars is the stepping stone of the human race on its voyage into the universe. Human settlement on Mars, blah 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 blah. Yeah. Well, so what's your opinion on this? Do you think that if they asked you, hey, do you want to go on this mission to Mars, would you say yes? That's an interesting question. Would you say yes? Would you?
It depends, really. It depends on my life circumstances here on Earth. If things were going good for me on Earth, then I probably would say no, unless unless there was a way. Wait, listen. Unless there was a way I can somehow get back to Earth, like.
So what you're saying is, if your life is down in the dumps, you'll consider this as kind of a soft suicide, per se.
Well, I wouldn't consider it a soft suicide. I would consider it a chance to, like, just
live your life to the fullest and actually do something. Well, I mean, so your answer would be yes if the circumstances were in your favor. Obviously, anyone would say that. If you were guaranteed a return trip. Now, the things I've been reading and looking and hearing are that they can't come back. Now, if you guys are listening and you know more information about this, correct us if we're wrong, please. I don't like to be incorrect, but that's what I've heard.
Yes, I have heard that as well. I didn't know NASA was doing its own voyage. As of this moment, I knew there was a private company a private space company that was actually going to do it, but I didn't know NASA was going to get on board with it.
I think that the NASA and another organization will be teaming up to do it, kind of because SpaceX still does things with NASA. Okay. They still do joint operations together.
Going back. Okay, go. I'm sorry. Go on.
No, you go. You go first. You go.
So going back to your question, yeah. So I would go if there was a chance. If things are going good for me on Earth, and I would go then if I was able to get back. If my life got pretty bad on Earth, like I felt like there was nothing left for me here, I felt like things were pretty hopeless, or I felt like my life was miserable. And it was like, then I would go to Mars because if I was given the chance, because I feel like I would have nothing to lose, and I'd rather try to start my life somewhere else. Like a little, like literally like a whole new fresh start. Like
that is, yeah.
That's why people have throughout history have moved from place to place, because they want like a difference. They want something different. They want a different opportunity, or they want a different experience with life. So if things were just
Well, speaking of what you were saying, the Mars One mission on this website here, they have a webpage and it says, "Is this ethical?" And they say, "We want to emphasize a number of issues." They're saying a one-way trip to Mars is currently the only way we can get people on Mars within the next 20 years. This in no way excludes the possibility of a return flight at some point in the future. Note that they said at some point in the future. They said it is likely that technological progress will make this less complex down the line, not to mention the fact that once the planet is inhabited, it will be that much easier to build the returning rocket there. This means that in time, it could be possible for astronauts to return to Earth at some point in the future should they want to do so. Well, I sure hope they would, It is our home planet. I'd like to return to it eventually.
Maybe some people just end up liking Mars more,
Yeah, I mean, it's such a, thinking about it in the 60s when we got to the moon, and I guess there's some people out there who believe we never did. I think they need to get their hands out of the sand. If you really want to protest a conspiracy, go protest Bilderberg and Rockefeller Group and the Illuminati. That holds more weight than these people who protest and say that the Mars missions were faked because it's the stupidest thing in the whole entire world.
You mean the moon missions?
Yeah, the moon missions, yeah. And then there's people who actually think that the space shuttle program are holograms. So when I witnessed myself real-life space shuttles taking off multiple times. But whatever. Back to the subject. Mars One will take every possible precaution to ensure the journey to Mars will be as safe as can be, obviously. The astronauts are willing to do so because they choose to. They will receive extensive preparation so that they fully know what to expect. Astronauts that have passed the selection process can always choose not to join the mission at any time and at any point during preparations. They got backup teams will be ready to replace any crew member that drops out, even at the very last minute. So they got their priorities pretty much straightened out. They want to offer life on Mars the highest quality they can, unlimited access to email and other communication channels to keep in touch with friends and family back on Earth, as many exploration and experimentation opportunities as are available, the means to build and develop as much as they can themselves. They can work on the expansion of their Mars base and use the new rooms as they wish. That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, definitely.
So talking about this, you and I, just thinking about it, I mean, landing, we should... Personally, I think that they should experiment with this first on the moon. The reason why I say this is I think it would be good training. I think it's like swimming in the swimming pool before you try to swim in the ocean. Does it make sense, right?
Right.
I think we should do this on the moon. It's easier to get back to the moon. It's closer, in a way it's safer, right? Because it's closer, whereas I believe it takes 5 or 6 months to get to Mars, where it takes, not that long, very, very fast. We get to, a few days, 3 days to get to the moon? Is it 3 days? 3 days?
It's a lot faster, let's put it that way.
Yeah, let's put it that way. I should know this. I watched the whole series on From the Earth to the Moon, that box set. But anyways, yeah, I think they should do this on the moon, because then they could build the base there. They could experiment with it. They can feel how it is to live on another celestial body, because I guess it would be a little bit different than floating around in the International Space Station. And yes, when the lunar module landed on the moon and they experienced their time on the moon, the astronauts did, of the Apollo missions, it isn't the same thing as living there for about 3 or 4 or 5 a year. So I think that we should do that first before we venture out and hit Mars. That way we can learn, we can understand what it feels like, and just good practice, good preparation, and it'll give us information that we need. What do you think? What do you think about that?
I feel like, well, I think your question has already been answered, Roman. I think if you go to a Q&A on their website about it, they should have answered that question for you already. If not, I think they have their own explanations as to why Mars is probably more beneficial than the moon. Mm-hmm. I myself have not actually looked into those reasons for a while now, so I really can't pass full judgment. Let's see.
I'm looking at their FAQ right here on Mars1.com. I don't see anything about the moon.
Well, I think there would be some kind of benefit to going to Mars compared to the moon. Like Mars has an atmosphere, the moon doesn't have an atmosphere.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's see. I think there could be more potential for on Mars than on the moon. But
yeah, I mean, I never said just don't go to Mars, but I think that we should do some training, exercise, and build a base on the moon.
I agree with that too.
Yeah.
I think we just do both.
Yeah, just do both. And you know what? And as technology advances, it's going to become easier, and we're going to learn more. I mean, look at the leap of technology in 70 years from the invention of the airplane with the Wright brothers, and then we got to the moon. That's very fast.
Yeah,
that's not a long time though. 1903, the airplane was invented, and then we got to the moon in the 60s. Wow.
Yeah.
That
still, we kind of slowed down though.
Yeah, we kind of did, and we've slowed down a little bit, but I think we're approaching another point in our history of humanity where it'll peak significantly again.
And I'm hoping that, I hope that's true. Yes.
And I hope it's for the best. I hope we don't design more things that will be detrimental to humanity's existence, rather than you being smart and developing things that'll help humanity progress and survive and travel the universe, and and learn and evolve that way, rather than develop more weapons of mass destruction and stupid things that could destroy everyone on Earth and that retarded stuff. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, If there was a sign up sheet right now to do some test missions to live on the moon or Mars, I'd do the moon first. I feel safer going to the moon than Mars. But that's just me. And I think it'd be pretty neat though. And we could make it just like the International Space Station, have the moon base there, do experiments on the moon. Just get. I think it would be just a good leap to get back into space exploration again. Where we've kind of slowed down, and there's been that gap. I think that's a good gap bridge. You understand what I'm saying? Sort of, yeah. Yeah, but there's a lot of interesting things going on with the space exploration deal. They're talking about they're building new these unmanned vehicles that they're gonna send ahead of time, and they're gonna go check out the landing zones and make sure it's solid, and make sure that everything can get down to the Martian surface. I was about to say the lunar surface. They got these landers built. One of these price tags here says $425 million just to gather data.
I got food on my mind right now, Roman. I know one thing for certain. If I went there, that's one thing I would miss, is like the different foods on Earth that like I eat and stuff like that.
Yeah, wouldn't it? I think both of us. I think you have. I know I have. I've eaten the space food before, the freeze dried stuff. But that, if you eat that every single day, and for months, you'll start going crazy. Maybe.
you gotta like, you gotta be willing to just continue eating that stuff. So that's something you gotta get used to. If you get used to it, then fine. But like, I don't know, man. I would like to have some of my favorite food again. I think I would miss that a lot. Being light years away from like a restaurant that I love going to. That kind of sounds a little bit crazy.
Hey, we're gonna build a restaurant on Mars. You gotta make reservations.
Wait, how's that a joke? That can actually happen.
Yeah. Eventually it can happen. I don't know. Who knows? It sometime in the future. But maybe, you know what they do? I think they're going to bring, like, plant seeds with them. Like beans, lettuce, I don't know, carrots. I would bring a bunch of vegetable seeds with me in freeze-dried bags. And, they're going to have these pods that they're going to be able to build. And I'm sure you can build a little greenhouse in there and start growing food on that planet. Wouldn't you think so? Yeah, I think so. You could.
Right.
Water is the only important thing. Water is heavy, and you need a lot of it to live. So I wonder how they're going to do that.
Me too.
There's ice caps on Mars, but those are hard places to get, and I don't know how I'd feel about drinking that. Yeah, I'm just going to drink this frozen water that's been on the Martian surface for a very, very long time, not knowing what's in it.
Also, alcohol.
Yeah, bring a few cans of cheap PBR. That'll make your space day complete.
Yeah, but like when you run out of it, though.
I don't know. Just make more. If you can make some, have a grow hops and make beer.
What if you can't make any more?
I don't know. You're crazy. I don't know. They do it in the International Space Station. These guys are up there for a very, very long time, and they seem fine. Maybe it's a psychological thing. Maybe it's because they can see the Earth every day out the window, and it's fine. Whereas if you're on another planet, good luck for that. Psychologically, you'll be a little bit disturbed.
Definitely.
I'd suppose it gets scary. I think you would have nightmares too, wouldn't you? Just imagine you're outside there in your spacesuit and everything, and you see something move or a shadow.
I think you definitely get like a nightmare. Like you have a nightmare that you're like outside in your spacesuit and you start like suffocating or something like that.
Oh god! Or you accidentally step on a rock and it punctures your spacesuit.
Right. Yeah.
But it does have an atmosphere there, but I'm sure that the air content, the gases that are held within there are probably toxic, maybe, or probably full of hydrogen or something. I don't think that you die instantly, but you would probably have a very, very hard time trying to take a breath.
Right. Another thing I want to mention is related to Mars, but it's fictional. In the Halo universe, the solar system is not just it's like all the planets are still there, and I kind of wanted to. I believe there's a battle that happened on Mars between the Covenant and humanity. I want to see what that would be like. Yeah.
Really?
So 3-4 Industries and Microsoft Studios, get to work now. Thank you.
I'm sure they're gonna listen to you now.
You better listen to me. I'm a fan, and you know, I'm like Fry. Shut up and take my money if you do that.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah.
Oh man. Anyways, I think that's about it.
Yeah, man, we're getting close to 30 minutes, so yeah. Thanks for having me on, Roman.
Yep, thank you, MySpace, and we're gonna find the sign-up sheet for the Mars missions. I'm signing up now.
You are?
No, not. Just kidding. No, someone else can do that. I'll stay here on lovely Earth. Alright, guys. Appreciate you listening. Please subscribe and comment below. Share. Talk about it. Talk about how stupid I might sound. I don't know. I like criticism. You know, talk about if you would like to go to the moon, Mars, deep space, somewhere. Tell us what you know about planets. Give us your insight. We like to know. We're not thick. So, MySpace, you enjoy your delicious mac and cheese?
Oh, I'm done with it.
Okay, it's already enjoyed already. But we will see you guys tomorrow.
I think I messed it up on the cooking, but yeah, oh well.
It's okay. You put it in the nuke oven and it does it for you. That's all that matters. So we'll make another show, and the topics, I think I'm going to do the next one. My topic will be on probably something about Hillary Clinton. Nah, it's too generic. People get tired of hearing about that. Who wants to hear about another Clinton story? I'll find something interesting to talk about, another controversy that's not... See, I want to talk about things the mainstream media isn't talking about. Because why would I want to keep regurgitating the same stupid thing again? I'll give you my 2 cents on it.
Because it gets more people to listen to us?
That's true, that's true. But then they might get tired of listening to the same news story being regurgitated over again and hearing some whack job's opinion on it. Who cares? They do.
We wouldn't just cover like the major stories, we do minor stuff as well.
Yeah. But it's always fun to bash the controversies going on and have fun with it, which we always do, and always will continue to. Alright guys, appreciate you guys listening. Subscribe, comment, do whatever you want. We'll see you later.